Good afternoon, everybody. He called me Jimmy Fox. I don't see the resemblance anyway. There is really. Okay, let's go on. We are all gathered here today to imagine worlds. And before I start, I want to tell you that right now we are in somebody's imagined world that has come to manifestation. Wikina must have sat somewhere at some point to think about this event, this day, like she did, of speaking somewhere, someday. That was the world she imagined and she created in her mind. That is the beginning of imagining worlds. Now, my topic is dare to dream, dare to mold. The question I have for everybody before we go on is, are you different? If you look at the next person to you, are you different from that person? Really? Okay. If I may ask, what makes you different from the next person to you? If you say, I'm a guy and she's a lady, there's also, if here we can see several other ladies, which means it's easy to find somebody who is different from you physically. If you say you're a graduate of mass communication or engineering, if we look around, we find somebody who is also different by course of study. So it means you are basically the same with everybody if you look at it generally. What separates you from the person who is robbing someone somewhere now at this moment? Why do you choose to be here instead of watching football match? I think today is EPL, I think. You could have been somewhere waiting to watch a match, but you are here sitting down. Isn't that what makes you kind of different from the person who is there? Is it just because you are a guy and that person is a lady, or that person is a graduate and you are not? Because there are other graduates right now on the streets somewhere, probably looking for a girl to chase or looking for a movie to catch. Which means you are different not because of your degree or because of your sex, but because of something. Dreams. Your dream is what makes you different from that man there, this lady here, this wonderful madam. I just have been awed by her already. That's what makes you different. Your hopes, your plans, your desires, and your imaginations. Those are the things that make you different from anybody around you. Not your age. She's way younger than I am, and I think she does a better job on the stage than I can ever hope to do. I don't know. She does already. And not the money you have in your wallet. I'm sure there are some people who you studied with in the university who were ministers' sons, and they got 2-2 or third class, and you got 2-1 or first class, I don't know. But then it is not the money. It is what you have in your head. You went there hoping to get a degree to become so, 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 and so. And they went there hoping to wait for their dad to die, and then they inherit his money. Yes. Now, do you have a dream? Does anybody here have a dream? Yes. Yes. Okay. If you say no, those who didn't answer it, I want to imagine you don't have a dream. I want to just assume. Congratulations if you don't have a dream. Because it's easy for you. You're going to live a very easy life. No hassles. Sleep. Wake up. When the alarm rings, so you won't even have an alarm because you don't mind. You will just wake up and then eat again and then sleep and then wake up and then maybe one day you die or you just live on. But for those who say they have dreams, sorry, it's a real sorry thing because you wouldn't sleep. When your friends are sleeping watching EPL, you are probably reading Wikipedia or you are somewhere on TEDx site watching the video getting inspired. It means you won't sleep in the daytime because you are working. And in the night you won't sleep because you are actually trying to get something else in your head for the next day. So it's not easy being a dreamer. It is not easy, I tell you. Now, what is the use of a dream in the first place? I think dreams are just nonsense. Dreams are useless. Hoping to become the Minister of Education, hoping to speak on the TEDx stage, it's useless. It's nothing, it's just a dream. If I don't have a dream, just don't have a dream. Because dreams don't have anything to do for you. Except, of course, do you know this, that those who do not dream do not worry until they have only worry left in their pockets. Like I said before, you can just sleep, wake up, and then one day you find you're on OrdinanceRoad, right? And then you see your classmate who passes in a C class, and then he drops. You say, Peter, that's you. And then you're like, where did you get all this? And you're like, well, I'm now the CEO of something. Yeah, Kukogho. And then you're like, oh, really? I've been hearing about it. And then you begin to worry. Then you only have worry left for you. Because you're already 44, and you don't have, your first job was as a maybe a secretary for someone somewhere. That was the only job ever. And then you begin to worry. But the people who have dreams, they worry every day. I worried about this talk. I worried about getting here, missed my flight, and then to go transport here. I'm worried, when I'm living here, I'll be worrying about the next thing I'm doing. We worry a lot, but then we are worried happily and fruitfully, I think. Now, for those who have tried to have a dream, you have dreams. I said dreams were useless the other time. Dreams are very useless. Look at an artist, let's say a sculptor, he's walking on the street, he sees a block of wood, and then he says, oh, look at this block of wood. And in his mind, he's already imagining Mona Lisa in block. Somebody else sees that block of wood and says, why is this thing near this place? Look at this beautiful environment, they left this stupid log of wood. Come on, throw this thing away, and that is another person. One has a dream already of making the Mona Lisa that is not a painting, that is actually a three-dimensional artwork, while somebody is thinking of trash. It is the same thing. Clay on the ground can be molded to become pottery, to become whatever, or it can be just a mess that will spoil your rug if you step on it, isn't it? So a dream is useless like clay, unless of course you see that something else as an ingredient for something, or is it just a mess? So your dream can be useless or useful depending on who you are, who you decide to be. With that dream, that clay, that block of wood, that idea, whatever. Now, this is my own a formula I designed for myself anyway. Every person here is something. You are just you, your dreams, and this or this, actions or wishes. You can say, I want to speak on TEDx stage, international, maybe in Houston, and then you don't do anything about getting better. You wish it. Every day you say, oh, I want to be like Two-Face Idibia. And you've never for once done voice training, or tried to write a song, or tried to learn how his vocals. I think that is just mere wishful thinking. What if you decide to say, I want to be like Two-Face, and you download all his songs, and you sing everything. You learn how to mime his songs. And then you say, what's different about this song? What can I make different about this song? And then you do it better. Maybe one day you are singing on stage with Two-Face, and then clap when you don't clap for Two-Face. It can happen. So now, let's go back to Shakespeare. To act or not to act, that is the question. For you, you, and every one of you who have decided to worry all their lives until they have no worry anymore. Now, like I said before, our dreams are like clay, found anywhere. You could go to the water and see silt now, mix it up together and it becomes big. And in our heads are clay lumps, worlds imagined, hopes, desire waiting to be formed, created, shaped, designed. It's all in our hands. Clay, there. Do you want to mold it or trash it? It's what you imagine. Everything you imagine is useless until you decide to mold it into something tangible. Nobody will see what is in your head until they see you on the stage. Your mom never saw you as speaking on TEDx stage. Now she will see the pictures and she will say, yes, she spoke on TEDx stage. That is the difference between her and 1,000 other people who want to speak on this stage. I guess there are many people here who would want to speak on this stage one day, maybe with a larger audience in attendance. But then what is the difference between that person and who is already speaking on the stage because they walk towards it? Your world you imagine is just yours. Now, if you actually have a dream and you've decided to work on it, I have some little, I call them nuggets to guide you. One, everything seems useless in raw form. Everything seems useless in raw form. Probably if she has spoken to somebody about speaking on the same stage with Alibaba, or somebody will say, oh, you on Alibaba, we say, no, it can't work, it's not possible. Because people see you like anatomy, Alibaba, are you crazy? It's useless. Remember that great inventions great inventions started as stupid ideas. Yahoo, that is so large, if you read about the history of Yahoo, you will be like, wow, really? Just two people messing up with the internet, with computers. And it became Yahoo today. I know how many of us were wind on Yahoo, chat rooms and all that, before we had Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that. So that lump of clay in your hands, that dream, will you form it so that people will see that it's not nonsense? Will you form it? You can turn anything as you desire into anything. Anything you want, you can become anything you want it to be. Anything you want, you can become anything you want to be. Anatomy graduate comparing, standing on stage. It's still, I saw it and I was awed. Anatomy, she was dissecting bodies, something I can never do. And she's here, you know, cadaver, yeah. And then she's here. That is any, just imagine when she was in 100 level or 200 level, she had said it to you, would you believe it? You wouldn't believe it. You would say, no, it's not possible. So every idea is useless, and it can be turned to whatever you want it to be. The potter can take a clay and make it into a figure of a fertility goddess, or decide to turn it into a vase, crush it and become any other thing. Pay attention to the small things when you are trying to actualize your dreams. The smallest things are the most important things. The smallest things are the most, what is it? What makes you to be able to speak on a stage? Probably your English. You might not be very good at English. I met a guy in Ibadan 2 weeks ago, a very good comedian. It's so wonderful. All his ideas were original. But I think he had a little bit of problems with some grammar. And then I spoke to him, I said, I see you becoming bigger than maybe Alibaba someday. Just go and start reading your younger one's English books. It may look silly to you. No, it may look silly, but then he called me and he has been appreciating me since then. It's very important. The little things matter the most. The most unimportant things matter the most. Look at Twitter and Facebook. If Twitter had Facebook had no like button. Sometimes you see somebody's picture, you don't want to comment, but you just take a like and get away. Yeah, if it was not there. Or on Twitter, like I just tweeted something now, and then somebody here or somebody in this hall tweeted it. What if there was nothing like a tweet, so I have to download the picture and then upload it myself? You know, those are the little things that matter more than every other thing. Or no, let's look at the most simple thing you can imagine. Your notebook, this broke your hair. If it came in as sheets without the paper, without the stapler, and without the spine, and then after your lectures from 100 level to 400 level, when you want to write the exams, you go and check under your bed for page 1, check under your freezer for page 2, check under your kitchen for page 10, because it has no spine binding them together. That is a very simple thing, spine of a book, and it makes it a book, not sheets of paper. Now, there is a right sequence to anything. You don't say you want to perform on the stage and try to go on stage to learn how to become an MC. You come to the stage and stand and at an event, and that is where you want to learn from. They will embarrass you and you forget your shoes on the stage. But if you started from reading, watching, listening, you want to be an artist. If you started from sketching from newspaper pages, you decide to sketch what you saw on the newspaper pages, and then you take your friend's pictures and you sketch. Tell somebody, sit down, I want to sketch you. It's a process. It's a graduate. You don't go and collect a job from Amechi and say, sir, I want to paint you. And after you go home, you collected 1 million from him, you paint an ogre and bring back to him. You know, you have to start from the beginning up. So just like a baby, if you have a child today, mother, and then your baby came out from your womb and they say, Mommy, thank you for vaccinating. You run away. It's your baby, but you run away. So then everything starts from, you know, it's a process that you have to follow. Now, evaluate your progress. That's very key. It is a big mistake for you to just ride on. Just ride on. At some point, you find out that you've not achieved as much as you could, or you've gone away from your target entirely, which may be good or bad in some cases. But then, Facebook didn't have an edit button. I can remember when I was on Facebook then. You post something and you make a grammatical blunder and you have 7 likes, and you come and see that, I put something else, and then you cannot edit it. So it's either you delete the post and delete your precious likes and comments. You know, no, seriously. When I joined Facebook, I wrote the best points, and I got 3 likes and 1 comment. It's like, oh God, me go 3 likes. I'm like, thank God. So if you see a mistake, you like it like that. So you put a comment and you say, you put an asterisk and you say, maybe let's say you wanted to write God and you wrote G-O-D, and when you become the capital that, and then you write star, G-O-D. Who will go and read your comment? You just see that idiot, look at what that is. So you see, so it's and again, you know, when we were little, Coke bottles were really very big. In fact, it was the biggest weapon on the street. Yeah, I've several times I've heard of people being I will break your head, I will choke you bottle. This is from Coca-Cola. But now, if I drink my Coca-Cola, if you like, I will put my head, yeah, hit me with that bottle. Hit me. If you hit me with this now, I won't get injured, right? That is innovation. That is the little things that change. I think Coca-Cola, when they thought, okay, this bottle is clumsy, and then people have to return it and all that. Why not save the stress of returning and all that? Take plastic bottle, Jare, and it's working fine for everybody. So that is evaluation, and change inspired by evaluating yourself and checking your progress. Yeah, I will rush through the rest. Sometimes you have to appreciate yourself because people will not see anything good in you until you see it yourself. You know this Dettol thing that says, if I don't take care of my family, who will? If you don't take care of yourself and say, oh guy, you've done well, who will? You have to tell yourself that you're doing well sometimes. What world do you imagine? What world do you imagine here? Well, whatever the world is, be different. Twitter is not the same thing as Facebook. That is why I am on Twitter, I am on Facebook. So I snap one picture here, I post it on both places. Why go through all that stress? If they were the same thing, would you do that? No. You wouldn't, but they are different. Somebody will retweet somewhere, and somebody is going to comment and like somewhere. So you want the comment and you want the retweet, so that you can say, I got 1,000 retweets. It is all part of it. That is why both of them are existing and doing well, because they are different. Many people don't want to support an idea, they don't see that it's a success yet. And nobody will see the success until you sweat it out. You must sweat it out, you must prove to people that you can do it before they will even listen to you. Death trap is a death trap. That is one, I'm one of the people that don't really bother much about phonetics. I don't do all that, because I don't really think I have the time to learn and do all that. But then there is something, this one, I don't forget this one. Death and death, they are the same sound. But the similarity is only in the sounds. If you borrow too much, you're going to die. I'm telling you, don't use death to promote your ideas. Until your ideas have become strong enough to borrow capital, not to start it, don't ever even think of borrowing any money. Now, this is just a short rundown for the last point. Spend only half of what you are earning. If you're earning 100,000 naira, spend 50,000, so that if you are sacked, you can still live a number of months with nobody knowing that you are sacked. That is my whole thing. That is what I always do. If anybody sacks me today, for the next 12 months, I will pay myself my current salary because I'm anticipating it. Nobody wants to with him forever. You must do something for yourself. So spend only half of what you earn. Secondly, don't pay for what you can do. I do my laundry myself. All my laundry I do by myself. But people who don't have jobs, that I know, they put their laundry to laundryman just to feel that elitist feeling. Like they wash your clothes and then you brought it iron. I do my ironing. Even if it is 12 minutes, I can wash. I have my bedroom in my house. Yeah, number 4, don't buy what you don't need. And then don't need what you cannot afford. Your friend has a Nokia, a BlackBerry phone, and you want to have a BlackBerry phone, not because you need a BlackBerry phone for a particular thing, but because all your clique have BlackBerry phones. It's not good. Learn to disappoint people, yes. It's not everybody that comes to you to ask for money that you give to them. I am telling you, you must, if you don't have that power to say no sometimes, or your friends say, we are having an event, and I want all of us to wear jeans and t-shirts. I don't have money for jeans. Tell them I will wear my, what kind of material do you have? Whatever, my abada or something to the place. Yeah, because if you buy that thing because of them, you might end up disappointing yourself. Learn the only money you can ignore. If anybody is coming to ask for money, give them the amount that if they don't pay you, you will not kill the person. Because if you give money that you cannot ignore, you will lose that person's friendship and you will lose your sanity over it. Last one, buy in bulk and live on a budget. Yeah, it's a practical thing. Is there, Jim? Have you ever gotten this while browsing the internet? Yeah, it happens when maybe network goes off suddenly or maybe error page. Are you dead? Have you been trying to put up your dreams and it's dead? You feel like you're in dead waters. It's not a problem, just refresh. Just click refresh and it goes off. So these are just the fellows who have gone through, sorry, a few more minutes, fellows who have gone through terrible situations. Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen wrote a book that 140 publishers say this nonsense, what is this? And they sold 100 million copies when they later published it. 100 million copies. When they later published it. That is a book rejected by 140. I don't think we have that many publishers in Nigeria. That's like the whole country rejected your book and then you publish it somehow and you sold 100 million copies. Now, Ramsey, I'll just pick 3 of them. Ramsey Noah. That guy once slept under the bridge at Obalende. Ramsey Noah. You can imagine that. Nelson Mandela, of course, I don't need to tell you anything about him. How many years he did. Helen Keller and all those people. Yeah, I'm just trying to run the time. Yeah, so in the end, the dreamer, in quote, the dreamer who acts, always wins. Over to you, dreamer Porter, all of you, over to you. act and dream, and then